What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV. I'm joined by John again. I think we're going to make this a regular thing. I'm enjoying your company, mate.
Definitely, man. No, it's good fun, man. It's good fun to analyse the players.
100%. And I'm excited for this one as well. This one, we've got DIMITAR Berbatov and the fantastic career he had at Spurs. For me, and I think you'd probably agree, he didn't have a standout moment as to when we realised he'd be a fantastic player at Spurs. It was just throughout his time, and unfortunately near at the end, he got even better.
I just thought he was superb from the day we got him, to be honest with you. He was silky smooth, one of the most technically gifted players I think the Premiership's ever seen, let alone Spurs, you know. And it's devastating losing him. And do you know what? I actually feel as though if we'd have kept Yol on as manager, I feel as though we might have kept him on for another season, but that's a sort of separate thing. But what a player. What a player. Yeah.
He was fantastic. And for me, going back and watching highlights over the last few days, the thing that stood out was just his technical ability on the spot as well. He could connect the mind and his foot, like under pressure, any game, any time, any position on the pitch. You look at him and he's sort of says out wide. He can dribble it inside and just put away some incredibly technical finishes.
Just a very intelligent player with a deft touch.
Oh, yeah.
I have a kind of like a list of players that I think are some of the most intelligent players of all time. Not necessarily the greatest, but the most intelligent. And I'd say Berbatov's one of those. And Teddy Sheringham's another one, actually. Probably one of the most intelligent players I've ever seen. And Berbatov had it. Also, little things that he did that I haven't really seen many other players do. I'll give you an example of that. He was able to score goals such as little cushioned lob headers. If you watch the Chelsea game where we draw 4-4, he doesn't power the header. It isn't just like a typical header. He kind of takes the weight off the header and loops it over from about 8 yards out. Little things like that. You don't really see players have that kind of presence of mind to do. The other one I was just going to say was in the 5-4 against Red. Is it 5-3 or 5-4? Or was it 4? I can't remember the scoreline.
Against who's this?
You know when he scores 4 goals against Reading?
I think it was 6-4.
6-4, that's it. No, it is 6-4.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's 6-4, yeah.
I think I was at that game, I lost.
6-4.
Yeah.
If you notice, one of the goals, the ball comes down, with snow on it, and he doesn't even strike it. He just lets the ball cushion off his foot, and that was a volley that he did by taking the weight off it. He was one of the best players I've seen at actually taking the weight off the ball, off the shot as a form of shooting. So I thought that was incredible as well. Yeah.
I think that's interesting because you've mentioned a minute ago little things, and I think that's something that got him a long way, because you've just mentioned 2 there, but I can mention another 4 types of different goals that he scored from crazy areas in the field, because those little things get you past the player or something, or get you from getting past the player when you're last man in the box to all sorts of different technical shots, so that whoever you're up against, they don't know what you're doing because you're so unpredictable. And I think I like the way you said little things there, because that's propelled him on to be such a world-class player that will go down in Premier League history, like the little things he's done. Because as I keep saying, there's some of the technical volleys he scored, some of the in fact, one goal that stands out to me is against Charlton Athletic, against their number 15. I think he was a centre-back. Ledley King drifts the ball over to him. He flicks around the player. It was almost like, Bale when he scored against Real Madrid, goes outside the pitch and just muscles past the player after being in front of him. He sort of, once he's flicked the ball over, runs round him in his one-on-one and just beautifully tips it in the goal. And he was known for that. Just his ability on the ball was crazy.
That Charlton goal that you're referring to, those are the moments where he wins the game on his own, if you like. That goal was completely of his own making, and that for me is how you categorize someone as world class. It's that ability to make a goal out of nothing, which for me is an ingredient to being a world class player. And the Bale example against Real Madrid, against Barcelona for Real Madrid, that's what creates an elite style footballer, a world class footballer for me. And he was able to do that. And something else I was going to mention as well. We haven't had many penalty takers throughout the history of Spurs where we've got a penalty and I've gone, I'm pretty confident you're going to get this. Like, for instance, the League Cup final against Chelsea, I was actually thinking, he's got this. Do you know what I mean? And it's not very often. Obviously, with Kane, I feel very confident with Kane. But apart from Kane and Berbatov. I can't think of any when I've thought we've got this in the bag. He's one of those ice cool under pressure. The Iceman. Even when he scored it, it was just like there was just almost like the guy just feeds off pressure, you know, and he just was just so cool throughout the whole of that. So
honestly, I couldn't agree with you more, and that's also a big thing you've got to admit, because he was so unique, and in terms of the pressure, which you were just pointing out, that's why, you know, when he's in one-on-one situation, did we ever see him miss? Like, they're the cool, calm situations you've got to be in, even because they're the easiest chances.
There's
but that's
one
when
moment.
The pressure's the highest.
Oh, Burbs. And that was when it was 4 against Chelsea, and it was like the last minute, and he's through with Cudicini, and he even like has the presence of mind just to do a little touch to get himself in front of goal, and he played, and I don't know, he doesn't play the right shot, but you can't. I mean, but Cudicini, I mean, that was a heroic save, but that was the only time I was like, oh, Burbs, man, you know, that would have been 5-4. What a classic that would have been. But no, apart from that, I think he's incredible player, poetic player.
Standout moments.
Yeah, it's almost difficult to recreate that kind of player. I doubt you're going to see a player like that for a very long time. It was very sad to see him go. I was quite bitter when he left. Because you know his smirking face when he's signing the papers, for Man United, on Sky Sports they were showing that, and I just felt a little bit pissed off. You know what I mean? As a fan,
no, it is frustrating because whenever we talk about his career at Spurs, you have to end on that, and it just sort of leaves a bit of sour taste in his whole reign. But you know, looking back at it, you can never be upset. You know,
you can't be upset overall. I mean, he did. What's the word? He did go on a little bit of a sulk. Do you know what I mean? Berber sulk, as we called him. You know, for the last few months.
One thing I would regret is not seeing him in a Champions League shirt for Tottenham. That would be one thing I'd love to see. Imagine. And actually, also, big up to Aaron Lennon, because looking back at some of the highlights of his Spurs goals, about 10 of them were just assisted. You know, when Lennon back in day was electric, running down the right wing, cut inside and just cross. He did it for the But I just looking back at some of the goals, Aaron Lennon was always, you know, on the first end of those crosses, and the way he could finish was next
level, mate. Next level, and it was almost a look. Yes, he won trophies at Man United. Yes, he kind of fulfilled that, but he was also sidelined and benched for a lot of his Man United.
You don't get the same feeling and emotion, do you? When you
and I think he like Bale has it at Madrid, Berbatov at Man United. He became a brick in the wall there. But at Spurs, he was like godlike, cult-like status. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, Berbatov, you got your trophy, but you're warming the bench. You know, it's like, what's more important to you? So, I mean, that's my that's the sourness is coming up. But I honestly think that you know, you've got a choice. Sometimes the great players go to big clubs and they become a small fish in a big pool. You know, Berbatov with us was a bigger fish in a smaller pool, let's say. Yeah. And we all loved him. We held him in godlike status. And I think I was actually thinking this, and I could be wrong. Only Berbatov would be able to say this, but I think when he looks back on his career, even though he's won the Champions Leagues and all that, I think for the fact that he was at, let's say, a smaller club that was the underdog. I reckon that League Cup final, the exhilaration from beating the Chelsea, who were, they nearly won the Champions League. Yeah. The rush from that and the buzz from that, and being in that team of underdogs, let's say, with your Robbie Keanes, I reckon that was probably, if you were to ask him, one of his top moments.
Yeah, it's very true, because I'll end it on it's a little bit off topic, but it's also very true to what you just said. I was watching Sunderland Until I Die, and the impact these guys get when they're in the League One player final is like, I haven't had that since the Champions League final, but before that it's been so long. They get that, say, twice a year, I don't know. But they're in League One. It's so strange how football works, how I wouldn't be surprised if Berbatov's one of his best days in football was the Cup. Yeah, because sometimes it's being that small fish in a big pond and winning. Exactly. The big fish in a small pond and winning.
Exactly.
Replicate it.
And I love what he said to the camera after. It always sticks in my mind. He goes, "This what all about it, man." He's trying to say this is what it's all about. He goes, "This what all about it, man."
He was a great player.
I loved it. It tickled me. But I mean, and his relationship with Robbie Keane was probably, I would say, maybe the best ever partnership in the Premiership, maybe only second to Andy Cole and Dwight York in terms of chemistry and
chemistry
partnership.
was
You
unreal.
know, that was telepathic between him and Robbie Keane, and it's sad to see that we lost both of those within the space of a season or two. But Berbatov, what a player! Definitely one for the
history books.
History books and the folklore. You know.
No, brilliant. Thanks for watching anyway. Till next time, come on you Spurs.